It all started on a cold, rainy afternoon. Martha was wandering through a dusty little thrift shop, looking for a birthday gift for her son, Timmy. Timmy had always been a quiet boy, struggling to make friends at school. He often spent his days alone, talking to his action figures or reading books about imaginary worlds. Martha's heart ached for him, and she hoped to find something special that would brighten his day. In the corner of the shop, sitting on a crooked shelf, she saw it. A vintage doll, dressed in a faded blue frock with golden curls made of yarn. Its glassy eyes seemed almost lifelike, staring straight at her. For reasons she couldn't explain, Martha felt compelled to pick it up. As soon as she touched it, a chill ran down her spine, but she brushed it off as a drafty store. The shopkeeper, a frail old woman with piercing eyes, noticed Martha holding the doll and hesitated. "That doll, it's been here for years," she said. "I'll sell it to you, but you should know. People say it's unusual." "Unusual?" Martha laughed nervously. "It's just a doll." The shopkeeper's lips thinned. "Take care of it. And take care of your boy." Ignoring the cryptic warning, Martha bought the doll and gave it to Timmy that evening. His face lit up when he unwrapped it. "Mom, she's perfect. I'll call her Clara," he said, hugging the doll tightly. For the first time in a long while, Martha saw pure joy on her son's face. The new friend. Timmy and Clara became inseparable. He talked to her, played games with her, and even set an extra place for her at the dinner table. At first, Martha thought it was adorable, but then, strange things began to happen. One evening, Timmy's older brother, Jake, teased him for playing with a doll. "What kind of boy has tea parties with a stupid doll?" he sneered. Timmy ran to his room, clutching Clara. That night, Jake didn't wake up. He was found in his bed, his face pale, his eyes wide with terror. The cause of death? Unknown. The family was devastated, but the tragedy didn't end there. A week later, Timmy's father, who had always been harsh with him, scolded the boy for leaving Clara at the dinner table. "Enough of this nonsense. It's time to grow up," he shouted, grabbing the doll and throwing it into the trash. That night, Timmy's father fell down the stairs. The autopsy revealed that his neck had been broken, as if by some unseen force. Martha began to feel the weight of dread pressing down on her, but she refused to believe the unthinkable. A mother's doubt. Martha started noticing the doll in places she hadn't left it. She would tuck Clara away in Timmy's room, only to find it sitting on the couch or staring at her from the kitchen counter. Sometimes, she thought she heard faint giggles at night, or the sound of tiny footsteps padding across the floor. Desperate, Martha tried to separate Timmy from the doll. "Sweetheart, maybe it's time to put Clara away for a while," she suggested. Timmy's face darkened. "No, Clara says she'll always protect me. She's my best friend. She won't let anyone hurt me." Martha's blood ran cold. "What do you mean hurt you?" "She told me," Timmy whispered, "that she'll keep me safe forever." The final night, one stormy night, Martha decided she had to get rid of the doll. While Timmy was asleep, she crept into his room and carefully picked Clara up. As she carried the doll down to the basement, she swore she felt it move in her hands. She stuffed it into an old trunk, locked it, and hid the key. But when she returned upstairs, Clara was sitting on Timmy's bed. Martha screamed. Timmy woke up, clutching the doll protectively. "You're trying to hurt her," he cried. "She won't let you." Martha's vision blurred with tears. "Timmy, that thing isn't your friend. It's dangerous." Before she could grab it, Clara's head turned and her glassy eyes met Martha's. In a voice that was cold and hollow, the doll whispered, "You shouldn't have done that." The lights flickered. Martha felt an icy hand grip her throat. She couldn't scream, couldn't breathe. The last thing she saw was Timmy holding Clara, his face a mixture of fear and awe. Best friend forever. By morning, the house was silent. Neighbors noticed the absence of activity and called the police. When they arrived, they found the bodies of the entire family, except for Timmy. In the attic, they discovered a small tea party set up with 2 chairs. Timmy sat in one, slumped over, his face frozen in a peaceful smile. Across from him was Clara, her glassy eyes shining in the dim light, and her lips curled into a sinister smile. The officers swore they heard faint giggles as they closed the door. From that day on, the doll vanished without a trace, waiting for its next best friend.